I have Trudon's Mortel. So Trudon is a brand I've been wanting to try for a while. Their fragrances have a lot of notes that I feel like I would like, and they use some of my favorite perfumers. Mortel's made by Jan Vesner. Um, he's done some of the better Joe Malone fragrances that I've tried. Especially there was like a spring limited edition run of four different fragrances. He's did a couple of them. They were really good. He's done some of the better Tom Ford stuff, I believe. And he's done Moschino Toy Boy. He's done stuff that I feel like is different and interesting and smells good compared to a lot of perfumers, I would say. I believe he's a Givaudan perfumer, and I think Trudon's fragrances are mostly, if not all, made at Givaudan. Uh, Givaudan, I think they're probably one of the better houses. I will say I feel like they use a lot of ISOE super and woody um, components in their fragrances. I mean, just think of Tom Ford, like woody, ISOE super. I think Comme des Gargons, I think uses a lot of Givaudan perfumers. I could be wrong. I'm just going by the smell, but I have noticed a trend in woody fragrances. So interestingly, I put this on and I feel like I felt like it reminded me of a lot of other fragrances. But the one I picked out to kind of spray on my other wrist and compare was Hilly's Cardinal. And surprisingly, on Fragrantica, I think that's one of the ones that's um, this is compared to the most. I think Trudon's Mortel is an X-Straight, so that was number one, but Hilly's was number two compared to it. So there's probably something to that. Um, I get similarities in other fragrances. Com- Coma des Gargons Incense series, like this kind of reminds me of those fragrances, like all of them kind of in a way. Um, Less ISOE Super in Trudon's Mortel kind of reminds me of Epicron's Night Child. It has this resinous cypress outside thing going on that Epicron's Night Child has. Maybe that one's like slightly has a more patchouli or oud feel to it. Um, Kind of reminds me of Eris de Venusta's Incense Japonese. Uh, my buddy Fragrance Time 3000 sent me that sample, and I feel like it reminded me of a lot of these other fragrances. I would say that one's more aldehydic. Um, Something kind of nose piercing in there. I think it's the aldehydes. But overall, Trudon's Mortel is a good incense fragrance. I would put it, if you like incense, I would put this top 10 for sure. It competes with all of the great incense fragrances that people alike. So yeah, I could have made this fragrance a Trudon's Mortel versus Hilly Cardinal, but I won't do that. But I'll make a lot of comparisons so maybe people can kind of get an idea of what this smells like because a lot of people have smelled Hilly's Cardinal. The notes listed on the website for Trudon's Mortel, the official notes are top notes pimento and black pepper, middle notes Somalian frankincense and mystical, and base notes benzoin, resin, pure cistus, and myrrh. On Fraganica, the notes that people voted for, they're similar but kind of different. Top notes black pepper, pimento, and nutmeg, so we have nutmeg in there. Mid notes alabanum, woody notes, and resins. And base notes myrrh, labdanum, benzoin, and cedar, so we have cedar as well. So as far as nutmeg, and maybe, yeah, it's got some kind of spice in there, but it's not prominent to me. Cedar, yeah, there's more than likely cedar in here. I smell it kind of. Yeah, there's definitely cedar in here for sure. I don't know why the website didn't list that. Maybe it's kind of boring. I mean, they put pure cistus, mystical, Somalian frankincense, you know? Um, So yeah, the difference just going off Haley's Cardinal and this one. Haley's Cardinal has this like clean soap, like kind of white musk soap in there. Not too much. All the Haley's fragrances, I believe, have like a little bit of white musk, even their incense ones. Um, Haley's Ooh Sacred, I feel like, is even more soapy than Haley's Cardinal in the dry down. It's interesting. I feel like Cardinal maintains that incense throughout. Yeah, Trudon's Mortel is more, it has like this, if you ever smelled cypress essential oil, like this green, I don't want to say green soapy, but it has like this green forest smell, kind of like wet leaves or something and cedar mixed. The labdanum is more prominent in Trudon's Mortel than Haley's Cardinal. I think Haley's Cardinal might have a bit more myrrh, more ISO super. Yeah, for sure. Haley's has a bit of vetiver in there too. A little bit of vetiver. It's a listed note. Trudon doesn't have that listed. Um, Trudon's Mortel has Somalian frankincense. Haley listed as French um, frankincense, I believe. But yeah, overall, I think it's a good incense fragrance, and I would try to sample it if you like incense. The only thing is, Trudon's fragrances are $290 for 100 ml, which is, it's kind of steep when you can get Comme des Gargan's incense series for like, I don't know, 130, 140. I guess if you do the math, those are 50 ml, so it works out similar per ml. I just wish Trudon would offer 50 mLs for, I don't know, 180, 190 or something like that max. And I feel like I would be more tempted to buy it, but 290 is a lot. And this is the only fragrance I've smelled from the brand. And I think that kind of contributes to why I don't want to sample a lot of their fragrances. They have a lot of good looking fresh citrus fragrances, but at that price it's just a lot, you know. They do have a sample set, Trudon. I think it's around $50. It's usually out of stock. I'm not sure if Ministry of Scent, or maybe I think Trudon's website has it, but maybe risky with all the tariffs and stuff to buy. I'm not sure. But it looks like a brand that's worth sampling. Going off this fragrance alone, I think it's one of the better incense fragrances I've had. I would say it's a mix of like the incense series, kind of like Warzazite, but without the T. Avignon, but more complex. Um, Maybe like Jalsamir a little bit. Yeah, what's the other ones? Zogorsk, no, it doesn't have that violet in there. What's the other one from the incense series? Uh, got Avion, Zagorsk, Jalzamar. Huh. Oh, Kyoto. It doesn't smell like Kyoto, no. So I think it reminds me most of kind of like Epicron's Night Child. That's a good one. Mixed with Hilly's Cardinal and some of those Comet Egregons incense I've smelled. It's good. I don't want to say that I like it more than Hilly's Cardinal. I think it's more complex. Hilly's Cardinal is kind of like a straightforward incense like Avignon, but more of like a slight soapy white Mustang in there too. Those are kind of a little more simple. They're good, don't get me wrong, but this is a little more complex. You get that cedar, labdanum, a little more foresty, some spices going on. There's an extrait too. I'll probably buy the extrait eventually too, or I don't know what it's called, but there's another version of this to compare. But basically, if you like incense and you're willing to spend $290 for 100 ml, I don't think these go on discounters, you know. I think it's worth sampling. It's one of the better incense fragrances I've smelled. Yeah, I'll probably sample some more from the brand eventually, but let me know what you think if you smelled Trudon's Mortel.